So imagine trying to grow fragile, sun-loving crops while you're actively battling freezing winds, sudden unpredictable frosts, or just torrential rain. I mean, it sounds like an exhausting, almost impossible battle against nature, right? But what if you could just cheat the seasons entirely? Well, welcome to today's Explainer. We are going to unpack the science and the strategy behind how greenhouses basically serve as a literal time machine for agriculture, letting us bend the weather to our absolute will. Let's get right into it.
All right, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start off by heading inside the plant fortress, then creating the perfect climate. After that, we'll weigh the greenhouse balance sheet, walk through your step-by-step planting guide, and finally wrap things up with the golden rules of growing. Okay, part 1. Inside the plant fortress.
You know, at its core, a greenhouse is really the ultimate environmental gatekeeper. Those transparent walls you see, they aren't just for show. They're actively trapping life-giving solar radiation while simultaneously serving as this tough physical fortress against violent winds and harsh frost.
So why go through all the trouble of building an indoor ecosystem? Well, it's not just about dodging winter. It's really about taking absolute, precise control of temperature and humidity. Doing that radically boosts crop yields, saves massive amounts of water through highly targeted irrigation, and honestly, creates these perfect controlled hubs for teaching and agricultural research.
And the best part? You are definitely not limited to just a few hardy vegetables here. A single greenhouse can host a massive, incredibly diverse menu all under one roof. We're talking everything from your daily staples, like tomatoes and spinach, to really high-value, delicate fruits like strawberries and melons, which, amazingly, you can now trick into growing right in the dead of winter.
Moving right along to part 2, creating the perfect climate.
Now, check out how incredibly specific these metrics need to be. It's actually kind of fascinating because it's not just about keeping the space warm. Notice that strict day versus night temperature drop. During the day, you want things comfortably sitting between 18 and 28 degrees Celsius. But then at night, and this is key, that needs to drop down to between 15 and 20 degrees for optimal growth and plant respiration. Add to that a really strict humidity range of 50 to 70%, 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight, and a soil pH balanced perfectly between 6.0 and 7.0. Like, this isn't just gardening. This is precision agriculture.
Of course, to maintain those rigid numbers day in and day out, you are going to need the right gear. Beyond the strong frame and transparent cover we already touched on, a highly functional greenhouse needs a dedicated ventilation system, think adjustable windows or automated fans, plus a really reliable irrigation setup. But pay close attention to those bottom two items, the thermometer and the hygrometer. Those two diagnostic tools are literally your critical control panel for managing all that exact climate data we just talked about.
All right, part 3, the greenhouse balance sheet.
Look, in agriculture, there is always a trade-off, right? The perks here are absolutely incredible. Year-round, totally weatherproof, high-yield harvests. It's a game changer, but the toll is definitely real. You're looking at some pretty steep upfront costs to build it. And if you happen to mismanage the ventilation, well, a single enclosed space can overheat in a flash, or worse, spread plant disease like wildfire. So, high reward definitely requires high responsibility.
Which brings us to part 4, your step-by-step planting guide.
Okay, before you even think about touching a seed, you've got to get your inventory sorted. You will need your physical hardware, trowels, shears, and those crucial diagnostic tools like thermometers, paired perfectly with your biological materials. So that means nutrient-rich compost, specialized potting soil, fertilizer, and obviously your seeds.
The whole journey from bare soil to harvest really happens in 6 precise steps. First up, you prep your medium and lightly plant your seeds, giving them just enough gentle moisture to wake them up without, drowning them. Then comes the really critical transition, moving them into the greenhouse to soak up that carefully controlled sunlight and fresh air. From there on out, it is a daily game of monitoring the temperature, humidity, and overall plant health until you finally reach the ultimate payoff, harvest time.
And finally, part 5, the golden rules of growing.
At the end of the day, success in a greenhouse really just boils down to your daily habits versus some pretty fatal errors. You have got to maintain impeccable cleanliness, water regularly, and do those rigorous daily climate checks. Because if you ignore this, if you overwater, overcrowd your plants, block the ventilation, or leave even a single diseased leaf inside, you can literally watch your entire controlled ecosystem collapse. Keep the air flowing and give your plants the room they need to breathe.
So, pulling all of this science together, the core takeaway is this.
Proper management provides the exact temperature, sunlight, and water that your crops actually crave. Controlling the environment isn't just some neat gardening trick. It is literally the proven, ultimate secret to unprecedented agricultural success, no matter the season.
Which leaves us with a pretty massive thought to chew on. If we can successfully hack the climate on a small scale today, using these brilliant structures, could mastering these controlled environments actually be the ultimate key to our future global food security? As the whole world changes, figuring out how to bring the outdoors inside might just be the most important thing humanity ever learns to do. It's certainly something to think about the next time you're enjoying a perfect, fresh tomato in the dead of winter. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep exploring the amazing science of our world.